What's up, y'all? Jordan Hook here from Hook on the Fly. Today we're going to do an introduction video. So it's going to be first in a series, probably 3 or 4 videos going to be in this series. I've had a lot of friends that are really stoked on fly fishing, but are just getting started in it. So this is going to be a getting geared up series. This is going to be the first episode, so it's going to be just getting your basics, getting your rod, getting your reel, getting your line, get you set up. Then we'll do an assembly video next, and then we'll do getting your flies and an accessories video. So if you already have your rod, your reel, your line, you just need to get it set up. Go ahead and jump to the next video on the assembly. If you already got the rod, reel, and it's assembled, and you're just wondering what flies to use or anything else you might need on the river, go ahead and jump to video number 4. But we're gonna start off taking a look at what we got here. This is my rod, reel, and then this is gonna be a leader right there. So what you kind of want to start off is a 5-weight rod. I would say it's kind of known as the Swiss Army knife of fly fishing, and the weight of the rod is gonna be, I don't know if you can see it there, but usually right down where the brand is, right after, you can see it says 9 foot number 5 right there. So that's how you can tell if you're looking. Look at the down by the cork. It'll have the brand, the model, and then right after it'll usually say 9 foot 8.6, and then a number 5. This is a number 5. That's a 5-weight. You want to get a corresponding reel. This is a Redington, great reel. So you want to get, I would say, an 8.6 to a 9 foot 5-weight rod, and a corresponding reel. And this is just general purpose. This is going to be your trout rod. It's going to be some bass. Depending on what part of the country you are, of course, you're going to have different needs. And as the rods go up in number, so if you get like a 6-weight rod, 7-weight rod, then you're going to be looking for real big trout, like lake trout, or getting up into salmon territory, or pike or walleye, maybe if you're up in the Great Lakes region. But this is just considered to be an all-purpose weight rod. So I would go into your local fly shop if you have any questions about specifically where you're going to be fishing and what weight to use, but just know that across the board, a 5 is considered to be an all-purpose weight. And the good news is you can find 5 weights everywhere, because they are all-purpose. So go get your rod. You can go to any local fly shop, and they'll help you get set up. You can just say, I'm starting off, I need an introductory 5-weight fly rod and a corresponding reel, and they'll get you set up with those. And then once you have your rod and you have your reel, you'll need line, and that's kind of 3 different components in the line. There is something called backing, which I don't know if y'all can see it here, but there's 2 shades of green on here, and on the bottom it's a neon green, and then on the top, the bulk of it is going to be more of a lime green, a key lime green. That key lime green is the fly line. That's the most important thing, but you will need some what's called backing, and that's going to be the first thing that you tie onto your reel, and it's what your fly line will tie onto. So it's usually just a monofilament normal fishing line, essentially. All the backing is if you run out, if you get a big fish and run out of this fly line and you still need more line for the fish to fight on, then that's what the backing's for. You'll rarely go into your backing, especially if you're just getting started out, unless you just slam into a huge fish. But you will need it, and it's easy, it's cheap. It's just normal monofilament fishing line. So it's easy to come by. The more important thing is your fly line. And the fly line, I would say, if you're thinking about what to spend a little bit more money on, like, do I spend a little bit more on a reel starting off? Do I spend a little bit more on a rod starting off? Honestly, with the technology nowadays, introductory reels are awesome. The technology with these rods is amazing. You can get introductory rods and be very happy with those, but I would say don't skimp out on your fly line, because fly line is really important. It needs to be durable. It needs to float if you want it to float, which is, I would suggest getting a floating fly line to start with because it's pretty all-purpose. But spend a little bit more money. You can get a mid-range fly line for, I don't know, 45, 50 bucks, and the expensive ones will run you all the way up 79, 80 bucks. Cheaper ones I think you can probably get for 25, 30 bucks. But if I'd say spend a little bit more money on something, throw a little bit extra at your fly line, because I think it'll really make a difference. Your reel at this point, it's pretty much a line holder. So again, unless you're going after big fish, we're going to utilize your drag, which the drag is the setting that will slow down the speed of the line leaving the reel as a fish is taken off with it. Unless you're going to fish big fish and drag is important, you're pretty much just looking at a line holder for your reel. And the rod just needs to be durable, and from a company I would suggest that has a lifetime warranty, like Fenwick, like Sage, TFO. Most of your major fly rod makers will have a lifetime warranty, because these things will break at some point. You send them back, usually pay a little shipping and handling and processing fee, and they'll send you a new piece for your fly rod, which is awesome. So definitely make sure, great if they're made here, but even better if they have that kind of warranty, because that's going to be the most important thing. So now let's say you've got your rod, let's say you've got your reel, you've got some monofilament line around, fishing line, you've bought some fly line for it, still in the box. Different brands are great, and they usually make them specific for what you're going to be fishing for. So, you know, saltwater or trout, or warm water like your bass or something like that. I got just a trout line on here because that's what I'm using this mostly for. But then at the end of your fly line, you're going to need to put, I don't know if you can see, it's real clear on the end there. It's hard to tell because it's right up against here, but you're gonna have what's called a leader. And a leader is just a long tapered piece of monofilament that's pretty thick on the butt end, the end that's going to be attaching to your fly line, and then it slowly tapers down and gets smaller at the end, so it's tiny enough that you can tie on a very small fly to it. And this is really all you need to get set up. So the order of operations is you'll put your backing on your reel first, and then you will tie one end of your fly line to your backing, spool it up, then you will tie the butt section of this leader to the end of your fly line, and then you can tie your flies to the end of this leader. Now there is one other thing that we're going to talk more about in accessories called tippet. It's essentially an extension of the smallest end of this leader, so that you can add more if you want to, like if you're going through flies or getting stuck and you're cutting away at the small part. They sell just the small part of the leader that you can just tie more onto, but getting started, you can tie flies on directly to the end of the leader. So I'm going to talk more on tippet later, but essentially those are the things you need to get started. Questions? Comments? Think I'm full of crap? Tell me about it in the comments section, but be sure to subscribe first.